are you tired of feeling like you're endlessly studying without truly understanding? Harvard students aren't just memorizing facts, they're fundamentally rewiring their brains. Forget passive learning. They're mastering techniques like interleaving, strategically mixing subjects to force deeper cognitive processing, and using metacognition to consciously monitor and adjust their own learning process. This isn't about cramming. It's about actively shaping your cognitive architecture for peak performance. Discover the 4 surprisingly effective learning techniques that Harvard students use to achieve academic success and unlock your own cognitive potential. So, what makes the learning approach at Harvard so effective? It's not about spending more hours in the library, it's about how you spend those hours. Let's look at 4 powerful techniques. First, there's interleaving. Think about learning different types of math problems, some involving algebra, some geometry, some calculus. I often felt like I was missing out, witnessing experiences from behind a glass wall. The catalyst for change was a single question. It wasn't a grand, philosophical question, but a simple one posed by a therapist during a session. She asked, "What's the story you're telling yourself about why you don't connect?" It seemed straightforward, almost silly, but it unlocked something within me. I realized I'd built up a whole narrative around my introversion, a story about being inherently different, about not being good at socializing. This story had become my reality, and I hadn't even questioned it. Suddenly, the walls I'd built around myself started to crumble. I began to examine the origins of this narrative. I realized it stemmed from past experiences, perhaps feeling overlooked as a child, or perhaps witnessing social dynamics that felt confusing and overwhelming. I understood that my perceived introversion wasn't a fixed trait, but a learned behavior, a coping mechanism developed over time. It was a way of navigating a world that often felt chaotic and demanding. The realization that the story was mine to rewrite was incredibly empowering. This wasn't about becoming an extrovert. It was about finding a more authentic expression of myself. It was about understanding my needs and setting healthy boundaries, while also being open to connection. I started practicing vulnerability, sharing my thoughts and feelings with trusted friends and family. It was scary at first, but with each act of vulnerability, I felt a sense of freedom. The fear of judgment began to lessen, replaced by a growing sense of acceptance of myself, flaws and all. I began to understand that connection didn't have to mean constant socializing. It could be a deep, meaningful conversation with one person, a shared activity with a small group, or simply a moment of shared understanding. The key was to approach interactions with curiosity and openness, rather than fear and apprehension. I started paying more attention to my inner voice, listening to what I truly wanted and needed, instead of what I thought I should do. This self-awareness was crucial in helping me navigate social situations with greater confidence. I discovered the power of saying no without feeling guilty, and the importance of prioritizing my own well-being. This journey wasn't always easy. There were moments of doubt, times when the old patterns threatened to resurface. But I learned to be kind to myself, to practice self-compassion, and to celebrate small victories. I started to see that my introversion wasn't a limitation, but a strength. Engage in activities that bring you joy, connect with loved ones, and prioritize your own needs. This is the core of inner work and self-care. This isn't about ignoring your feelings. It's about managing them in a healthy way. It's about choosing your response, rather than being dictated by the other person's actions. We'll explore tools for stress reduction and relaxation, helping you cultivate mindful awareness and live fully in the present moment. Remember to find an accountability partner. Building a support system around you can make all the difference. What principles guide your life? focus on living in accordance with those values. Further research is needed to fully understand the interplay between these factors and how to address them. Also, the role of social support and community in overcoming fear isn't fully covered here. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe for more videos on understanding and overcoming challenges. Remember, you have the inner wisdom and strength to navigate your fears and create a more fulfilling life. You are worthy of peace, freedom, and happiness. Cultivating wisdom allows you to see through the illusions of fleeting pleasure and recognize the true sources of lasting fulfillment. It's about developing a purpose, a clear sense of direction in life that guides your choices and motivates you to overcome obstacles. This provides fulfillment and helps you achieve your potential. There's also a deeper issue often left unaddressed: the societal pressures that fuel these desires. Advertising, social media, and even certain cultural norms constantly bombard us with messages that equate pleasure with happiness. Recognizing this manipulation, this subtle form of control, is an important step in reclaiming your agency. And finally, while Stoicism provides a powerful framework, it doesn't address the underlying emotional vulnerabilities that can lead to compulsive behaviors. Addressing these issues often requires professional support and a deeper exploration of one's personal history. This is about more than just stopping a habit. It's about building a life of purpose, strength, and self-respect. It's about becoming the kind of man you aspire to be. A high-value man who is in control of his own life, not a slave to his impulses. It's about choosing virtue over desire, reason over emotion, and inner peace over fleeting gratification. If you found this helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more videos on Stoicism, self-improvement, and becoming a high-value man. Your support helps us reach more men who are seeking a better way to live. Consider exploring the works of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca for a deeper understanding of Stoic philosophy. And remember, the journey to self-mastery is a lifelong one, but it's a journey worth taking. You have the power to choose your path. You have the power to choose virtue. You have the power to choose yourself.